Morning folks, and welcome back. I'm out on the water for a little weekend adventure. I'm up on the Broads, the Northern Broads. I've I've had a bit of a busy week work-wise and fixing my Land Rover again. Seems to be a constant thing these days, keeping that old girl going. But yeah, it's all done and I'm very happy to be out on the water in the peace and quiet. I've got 3 days, 2 nights, absolutely fantastic. I'm just heading up from South Walsham Broad at the moment, where I've parked, and I'll shortly be joining the River Bure, where I'm going to hook right and then head up the River Thurne. Just pulled over to the bank to take a look at the ruins of St Benets Abbey just behind me here. It's an iconic landmark along the River Bure. It was an Anglo-Saxon monastery and one of the only ones to have survived King Henry VIII. It's one of only a few that he didn't raze to the ground. Instead, it was put under the protection of the Diocese of Norwich, and it still is to this day. The abbey was abandoned in the years following for reasons unknown. And what you see today is the remains of the gatehouse and an 18th century mill which has been built amongst it. But you do get a good impression of you know, the grandness of the place from the stonework on that old gatehouse there and the archway leading into it. Just found me a bonus boat hook, quite a nice lightweight one as well. Somebody's obviously lost that overboard. Mine now. It's lovely and quiet out on the Broads today. That is the advantage of paddling at this time of year. During the summer months it is bonkers out here. All of these rivers and broads are just rammed full of cruisers, pleasure cruisers, and they're often being driven by people who are very inexperienced. So you take your life in your hands in a small boat like this, that's for sure. But yeah, today nice and quiet. I think I've seen 6 boats on the water so far today, and I've been paddling for nearly 2 hours, so that is good. I'm not sure where I'm going to camp tonight. I've kind of got a rough idea of where I want to head to. I'm going to paddle up the Thurne and try and get to the far end of the Thurne, up to Martham Broad, that kind of area up there, and see what's about. I've not really explored Martham Broad before. I've had a look at the maps to see if there are any sort of small woodlands or clumps of trees close to the bank where I might be able to set up a discreet camp for the night. And there are a couple of places, so I'll go and check them out as we get up there. But yeah, I quite like the mystery and the uncertainty. See what you find, and yeah, make do with what there is. Thought I'd take a little diversion off the River Thurne down Womack Water to Hunter's Yard. I did a video a couple of years ago of a trip on the Broads on a sailing cruiser, an old 1930s sailing cruiser. So if you want to see a video of a very serene way to travel and explore the Norfolk Broads, I'll put a link to that video down below. Yeah, I have a fleet of old cruisers, sailing cruisers and half-deckers, and it's just a wonderful way to travel using the wind rather than a noisy diesel engine. Just the one boat moored up there, the rest of them are tucked away in the sheds. They take all their boats in during the winter. It's when they do all their repair work. You know, they're wooden boats, they're old boats, they need a lot of repair and work to keep them going through the sailing season. So that's when they do all that work. And they've got a team of, well, very experienced craftsmen, boat builders, carpenters, who do all the work that's necessary to keep these old vintage boats going. Just into Potter Heigham here, where it's starting to get a little bit busier. There are lots of riverside properties along here, and boat hire companies and workshops with various things going on, and it looks like some dredging maybe going on a bit further up the river there, with a big crane in the river. I thought I'd stop here and have a bit of lunch. It's nearly 12 o'clock, and it's only going to get busier until I get through Potter Heigham, so I thought this would be a good place to just pull over and stop. Just got some very orange pate and crackers. It's nice to be coming out of Potter Heigham now where it's a bit quieter, although it's always a joy to paddle underneath that old bridge. And the sun has come out. Absolutely fantastic. Nice catch.
Thank you. You got some pistol pliers? Yeah.
Oh, feisty. It's only quite early, it's only just gone 2 o'clock, but I am going to start, as odd as it sounds, looking for a camp spot for tonight. I'm actually going to carry on further anyway to the end of the sort of navigation and up into Martham Broad, but if I pass anywhere that looks alright, then I'm going to earmark it and I can come back. So we are approaching a sharp right-hand bend in the river, and it looked like there might be some trees there when I had a look at the satellite imagery on Google Earth. So we'll go and have a little look. Nope, I don't think that's going to be much good. It's basically a pond with trees in it. This is West Somerton Mill, another abandoned mill here on the Broads, and I'd sort of half earmarked this as a potential spot, but yeah, there's just nowhere here really. I mean, there's some nice grassy bits there that I could, you know, potentially pitch on, but it's right on a public footpath, and just over there is the village of West Somerton, so there's going to be dog walkers, there are going to be, you know, people walking up and down this footpath, and They're not going to want to see some random bloke camped beneath their mill. So I'm going to head back across Martham Broad, where I just paddled across, and I'm going to have a little walk down to another woodland that I've seen. If it's any good, I can always put the canoe on the trolley and walk it. It's about half a kilometre or something, so that's what I'm gonna do, I think. I'm not sure about that woodland. It's going to be difficult to get my canoe to it and all my gear. The path is quite rough and it gets worse and narrower as you get into the woodland, and then you've got to cross like a little ditch. I'm going to have to walk across that with my canoe, and even once you're in the woodland, it's not great. It's very close, it's very sort of claustrophobic, lots of holly, very dark. I'm now thinking that where I just pulled out of the water, it's nice and flat and clear. I could make quite a comfortable camp there tonight, as long as I didn't set up, you know, before this evening. If I just waited until it starts to get dark, when all the dog walkers have gone home. Not that there are any, I haven't seen anybody walking along this footpath. Well, all day I've been paddling alongside it, so it's pretty quiet. I'm not going to have a fire or anything. I have bought wood with me. That's what that black barrel is. But that's wood for tomorrow's camp. So I need to save it for then. So I was just going to use a meths burner and cook my dinner over that tonight. I'm going to make a start on my dinner, even though I haven't set anything else up. So good old beef stew and dumplings. That's my dumpling stuff there. I've got corned beef to go in it. I've got all sorts of goodies. What I need is the veg. I'm going to use my firebox stove here, if I can remember how to put it together. It's been that long since I've used it. Stew for one, only one spud required. got some little baby carrots which I'm just going to top and tail. And with the spuds, carrots, corned beef and beef jerky. Stock pot and water. While dinner's been cooking away, I've been starting to set up my shelter. I've got my tarp up and my little ground sheet down, but I just remembered there's other stuff to go in this stew, so I better get it in now. I'm going to have some dumplings, so I've got some suet in this bag here and some self-raising flour. I'm just going to dump one into the other. A little bit of salt. Just a tiny bit of water, like 2 tablespoons is all. And I ain't gonna measure it because I haven't got a tablespoon. Let's call that 1. Just a shaky hand. Just give that a mix up in the bag here. I've also got 3 sprouts which I'm going to put in because I love them, and just a drop of red wine. Dumplings on the top. Oh yes. Little bit of wine, be rude not to. I did actually just knock this bottle over and I spilt about 1/3 of it in my canoe. Everything now is covered in wine and smells lovely. Oh. Just having another cup of wine, and very nice it is too, going down well. And I shall then go and clear everything in. I'm probably not going to be too late to bed, to be honest. I'm quite tired. I had an early start this morning. Left home at about 5 so that I could get on the water good and early. I enjoyed my paddle today. It was nice to see South Walsham Broad. I've not been there before, where I set off from this morning, and that lovely little stretch up to the River Bure, and the Abbey there at St Benets. That was also a first. I've been past it several times, but I've not actually got out and had a proper look. Really, really impressive. I think because that mill has been built there right in the middle of the gatehouse. I don't know, it just gives it another level, doesn't it? Sort of, yeah, new-ish meets old. Not that new, 18th century, but yeah, really nice. It was good to pop into Hunter's Yard as well and go and see the boats out of the water and in the sheds there being repaired. They had 3 sinkings this year. They've managed to recover them all. Yeah, one of them was quite badly damaged, so there's lots of repair work going on to the side and to the deck where another boat had hit it. So yeah, they're going to be busy for a little while in there, that's for sure. And then into this bit, the head of the Thurne, and into Martham Broad. It's a shame you can't kind of get into the Broad and have a proper explore. It's all cordoned off, you know, fenced off, and signs up saying don't go in. But you know, they're trying to protect that delicate habitat in there, so I totally understand. It would just be nice to see it. But I at least managed to get my drone up and have a little scout over the top, which was nice. Tomorrow I'm going to head over to Hickling Broad, and I'm going to meet up with a chap called Hardy, and we're going to go and find an old mill that's just off Hickling Broad. It's not actually on the Broad itself. Quite hard to get to, apparently. There's an old channel, but it looks to be quite overgrown, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, going to camp there tomorrow night, which will be really nice. Have a fire. I bought a fire pit with me, a folding fire pit, and logs, so it should be really good. It's a bit more secluded than this little spot here, so fire should be okay. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Well, I'm going to drink my wine up and get everything cleared up here, turn my boat over, and turn in. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night.
Got to say, Kent Survival's 2-time new with TA Outdoors.
I know.